Welcome to Planet MicroCap. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and joining me today is Ivan Fairhall. He is the CEO and director of Mawson Gold Limited. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is MAW on the TSX, and Mawson Gold will be presenting at the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, happening September 13th through 16, 2022. For more information, please go to precioussummit.com. And with that, Ivan, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
Very good, Robert. I'm well. Thank you for having me on.
Very good. All right. So for those that haven't heard the Mawson Gold story yet, or any of the previous interviews that I've done with management, can you start us off with that quick overview of Mawson Gold?
Sure. Yeah. Mawson Gold is an exploration and becoming development company listed on the TSX. We have a number of assets in our portfolio. Our flagship project is the Rajapalot gold-cobalt project, where we have 1 million ounces of gold equivalent. We're doing a PEA on that. There's significant exploration upside still on the property. We're also exploring in Sweden with a new property that we've acquired in the Skelleftea mining belt. That's earlier stage, but looking very prospective. We also held a very large investment in a company called Southern Cross Gold, which was a spin out of Mawson's Australian assets. It's trading down on the ASX, and they're exploring in the prolific Victorian goldfields.
Very good. So then, last time we had a representative from Mawson Gold on here, the executive chairman, Michael Hudson. We had him on here. We published that interview September 15, 2021. So love to get an update. What would you say are some of the company's highlights in the last, 10, 11, 12 months?
Sure, we've been very busy. I would obviously say the highlight was me joining, but at the projects level, we've been incredibly busy actually. Off the back of that 1 million ounce gold resource that we declared, I think just before Beaver Creek last year. We've continued to explore in the area, but more importantly, we've taken the view that this asset now has the scale to stand on its own 2 feet as a project, and so we've commenced a preliminary economic assessment over the project, and that's due out in the next couple of months. And exploration has continued. We did some drilling over the winter, and we've also done quite a large mag survey on the central part of the property, and we're looking to explore a much larger area of this very large 18,000 hectare Poja belt that we have locked up in Finland. We've acquired a new project, or an option over a new project, the right to earn into 85% of the Skelleftea Gold Project that I mentioned. We've done drilling down there. We've done the first holes ever put into the project, and we've hit high grades of gold, 0.4 meters, 137 grams a ton. In the second drill hole ever into the property. And this is a property that sits within 22 kilometers of 7 million ounces of gold produced. So certainly a good place to go looking for a new mine. And probably the other major corporate event, which really has highlighted significant value in the portfolio, is the spin out of the Australian assets into Southern Cross Gold. That company is now trading on the ASX. Mawson owns 60% of it, and then they've had continued on from the significant success that Mawson had when we were exploring in Victoria, and they've released a hole in May that really set the fire underneath the ASX company. They hit 119 meters at 3.9 grams a ton gold equivalent. Very much in this Fosterville style epizonal gold deposits, and certainly a hot part of the world to be looking now. And and the market is really recognizing the value of that discovery more than they ever have before. And our 60% in Southern Cross is worth Canadian 35 to 45 million dollars, depending on the day, and that's more often than not more than Mawson's entire market cap. So significant value created through a reorganization of the assets and putting, and funding it and having a dedicated strategy for Southern Cross has really created a lot of value for shareholders.
Absolutely. And, as you mentioned, as part of your highlights, or the highlight, excuse me, is that you are now a CEO of the company. What was your background prior to joining Mawson?
Sure. So I'm an engineer by training, but prior to joining Mawson, I was an investment manager at a mining-focused private equity fund in London called Greenstone Capital. And at Greenstone, we had about $500 million, and we deployed that into these development stage base and precious metals projects. So companies just like Mawson is today who have found something. something that can become a mine, and they needed funding and time and a strategy to de-risk that and progress it towards production. And that's exactly what I see here at Rajapalot. It's a project that can be developed. And yes, we will find more and we will continue to look over time, but we're looking to de-risk those ounces, create value by moving them closer to production and showing that the deposit has the potential to become a mine.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you kind of already alluded to my last question that I usually close out here. But from what you can tell us, I mean, what would you say is that one thing that you want our audience or anybody listening to this, you know, to be aware of coming up, you know, obviously from what you can tell us?
Sure. Yeah. Well, look, you know, Mawson's a strong fundamental value opportunity. You know, we have significant asset backing in the portfolio. We found 1 million ounces, and I think importantly, we're about to demonstrate that it's got, I'll hope to demonstrate certainly in the PEA that it's got the potential to become a mine, and it's also going to help people understand the exploration prospectivity, what incremental ounces will add to something that already has significant sort of scale to it. So we're going to be releasing the PEA. We're going to continue to do exploration on our property to demonstrate that we can find more ounces. And Southern Cross is well funded. We'll continue drilling, and their results and market performance will obviously add to Mawson's asset base.
So, Ivan, with that, where can our audience go and find more information on Mawson Gold?
Sure, you can reach out to us at info@mawsongold.com. You can check out our website, mawsongold.com, and hopefully you can come and see us at the conference.
Very good. All right. Well, Ivan, thank you so much for joining me today. Really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. And I'll see you in Beaver Creek.
Thanks a lot, Robert. Good to speak.
Thank you. And again, Mawson Gold will be presenting at the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, happening September 13th through 16, 2022. For more information, please go to precioussummit.com.